Santa Claus here. Are you looking for the perfect Christmas gift for that special someone? Well, look no further than tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. They've got all the best Nicolas Cage-related merch. And perhaps you have a favorite co-host. Well, they've all got merch too. Make my job a little bit easier and get some great stuff for that special person in your life. Again, that's tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. And don't worry about how many cookies they bribe me with to do this ad. Merry Christmas. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Cage.
This is my snakeskin jacket, and for me, it's a symbol of my individuality and belief in personal freedom.
Oh God, not the bees.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey.
What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the fucking day.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd. I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. How absurd.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
How absurd.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
How absurd.
Well, I think you better pull the trigger, because I don't give a fuck.
How absurd.
I never disrobe before gunplay.
How absurd.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Caging Greatness, the show where we discuss the films of Nicolas Cage and how Thomas Jefferson is a massive prick. And here we are, the second to last episode of the year. We're discussing another Nicolas Cage Christmas film. Today, we will be talking about, likely briefly because it's 10:30 and we're all exhausted, The Family Man. I know I've said briefly before and it just keeps going. I don't think that's going to be the case today.
4.5 hour analysis of The Family Man.
Yeah, it's twice as long as the movie actually is.
I'm sorry, after 2, I'm calling it. I have to be up super early.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. 2 hours guaranteed.
What?
Please.
People here have to be up early? Never heard of that shit.
Yeah, and again, please excuse my voice. It's almost like the past 5 episodes of the podcast and the other podcasts that I've been on have been recorded within the last week and a half, and it hasn't recovered. So,
At this point, it's on you, Shem. Just get some little like nose drops in a neti pot and hop to.
What happens if you snort a line of emergency?
well, I imagine you feel very, very bad.
I don't think it would feel good.
I think it would feel very unpleasant. I had a buddy who snorted some pixie sticks back in high school. He was on the ground for about 45 minutes.
You see, I had people do that in school, but it was more around the 4th, 5th grade range.
Yeah,
it was stupid then. You eat it. Eat it.
I actually cooked a burger with it once.
With a pixie stick?
Yeah, it sort of like caramelized the burger in the skillet. It was actually pretty good.
Oh, cool. There was this one kid in middle school who snorted salt.
People are dumb.
Yeah, he had to go to the hospital for obvious reasons.
Brain crystallizes on impact, just shatters.
Well, we just saw him in the corner, just like he looked like fucking Uma Thurman in fucking Pulp Fiction.
As blood starts gushing out of his.
It's like when Steve-O snorted a line of wasabi, something along those lines, just oh no.
Yeah, I remember that.
He probably didn't vomit a lot, but he probably hated every.
The wind blows the wrong way. Steve-O vomits.
That is true. So yes, The Family Man, the last proper episode of the year. before next week's KG Awards,
Which would be very improper.
which we definitely have not already recorded. That'd be silly.
It's almost like we've already recorded it.
Yo,
No,
we
that's
totally
the thing,
already
don't even-
recorded it.
Hey, listen.
It already
Not even-
happened.
It already happened.
Yeah.
No, that's silly. We record in chronological order.
That being said, we're just like go back. The Family Man was the greatest movie we have ever seen in not just this show, but in the world.
Yeah,
and we saw Spider-Man.
But let's just go around the room.
Cage of the Year, The Family Man.
I know the bit is, we definitely record these in sync. But after watching this movie, would any of your choices on the KGs have changed?
No.
Me either.
I love this movie. I like this movie a lot. But it would not change a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which is why we just went ahead and recorded the KGs, because we didn't think it would really matter. And hey, we were right.
We were very
So with that auspicious beginning, let's do that thing we do where we go around the room and I say what your names are, and then we go around the room again and we talk about the movie, because it's been a while since we've done a proper episode with a proper introduction. I think it's like twice now we've done it ever. So let's try that. Just end of the year, let's spruce things up and be professional.
Yeah, we turn a corner right at the last
Boo! Boo every bit of that.
So to my right is, of course, Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jojo Siwa, and
That's not accurate.
Hey, wait a minute.
that's very not accurate.
You're not 6'5".
I'm not an entire foot taller than Joe Rogan. But one observation I made is this side of the table has 100% more beanies than that side of the table.
That is true.
And I think that's the other side of the table needs to get on the same page.
But hang on. If you go by this half of the table, i.e. me and Cannon, we have 100% more hoodies than the other half.
Oh, you are right.
Well, also, 1/4 of this table is in their jammies, so go suck a dick.
And also, 1/4 of this table has a clean-shaven face.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But
So
which one of us has a clean-shaven ass?
Me.
well, I know I don't. If only someone would, I don't know, send us free merchandise.
I do recommend shaving your ass. It makes wiping so much easier.
Actually, I used to
it's
shave-
not gay to shave your ass,
I
boys.
used to shave my ass when I played football, because the pads and the pants and shit
It would get-
grab the ass hair, and it hurt like fuck.
Oh, I can imagine.
I was the only one who shaved my ass, but then like 3 other people started when they found out I did it. Cause like, oh, this ass hair, it keeps getting caught. Like, well, you should just shave it,
Man.
Like, you shave your ass, all the time. It's great. It
tell you
keeps
what.
everything from catching.
Nothing like getting your butt hair plucked. Am I right, folks?
Oh, yeah. No, you just take a fucking straight razor to that shit.
Yes.
It's just like the scene from Peter Pan when the Captain Hook's getting shaved, but it's just somebody's ass.
That's right. Like I said, we've decided to be more professional, more straightforward on the show.
Excuse me, that was hours ago.
Nobody remembers that.
4.5 hours ago. We still haven't talked about the Family Man.
And to Jonathan's right is Pat.
Hello, it's Paternal Pat.
And to Pat's right is Cannon.
It's Jack Campbell Cannon.
Yeah. And we watched The Family Man
We did.
with Nicolas Cage and Tay Leone and a bunch of other faces that you'd all recognize.
Yeah, there's a lot of recognizable 90s faces in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of really good character actors.
The 90s was a heyday for character actors.
And
wasn't
of
it?
course, Don Cheadle, who shows up and says, boom, you're looking for this, and then turns out he's War Machine the whole time. And
Yeah.
early MCU movie is crazy.
The first.
Yeah, the very first. So let's do that thing we do where we go around the room and we give our scores and a brief synopsis of our thoughts of The Family Man, starting with Jonathan.
Hi. The Family Man. Yeah, it's pretty fucking solid movie. I was surprised how engaged I was. I mean, it's nothing you haven't seen before. It's basically like a fucking Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life type of thing where a person has to realize what's most important in life and blah blah blah. But it was still very tender, and the acting was pretty solid. I do like the choice. I know we'll probably get into it, of Nick Cage not being an asshole, but like, you know, he is definitely a rich guy who, you know, is used to the finer things in life and gets slightly agitated when mildly inconvenienced. But ultimately, he is a good person, I think. And yeah, it's a good movie. 3.5.
Yes. Pat, what did you think?
Yeah, this is my first time peering at this movie, and I will echo Jonathan's review. Like, it's a very solid film. It's, you know, I feel like it's tenderhearted. It's emotional. It doesn't feel like it's at any point like saccharine or, you know, kind of, you know, schmaltzy. It feels genuine. And I think there's a lot of heart in the film, and you really see the ups and downs of a marriage and a nuclear family. I thought Téa Leoni did a great job. I really felt like she was the emotional heart of the film. You see her struggles, and, you know, you see her sincerity, and I think that comes across very well. And Nick Cage, he you know, it seems like he played a lot of rich fellas back in the day. But, you know, he had a great arc over the course of the movie. He learned, of course, he's just not like, I guess it'll blow you away with it sort of changing the paradigm. But it's a solid film, and I liked it. 3.5 stars.
Nice. Cannon, what did you think?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. It's another one of those movies that one of the movie channels when I was a child would play like over and over and over again.
Like this is the perfect like TNT movie, like not Sunday afternoon, but like during the holidays, like when you're like off school.
This definitely feel like it would come on like a prime time movie.
Yeah.
Although they had to cut out Téa Leoni dancing naked in the shower.
Yeah.
Which I did not expect. Also, there's a baby penis in this movie. Wasn't expecting that either.
There was a baby penis. It was almost like it was the early seasons of Dragon Ball Z.
That happened.
There were baby penises in Dragon Ball Z?
Yep.
Yeah, sure were.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, they're a little more flippant with baby nudity in Japan. Wacky, right?
Already been said, like, this movie, I mean, it does, the format, how it goes, has been done, you know, several times before, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a bad thing. It's like, you know, as long as it's done right, which I actually feel in this movie, it's done quite well. Like I said, that there's not like anything. There's no bad acting. There's no offensive acting, at least, that I saw, at least. I thought Nicolas Cage did like little pepper of the little traditional Cage moments, but at the same time, he did put on a solid performance in this movie. I thought he did great. Téa Leoni, haven't seen her in a thing in a while, and that was good to see her in something. Don Cheadle being like whatever he is, and it's like it's kind of like up for interpretation, I suppose. Like, I guess an angel, maybe. I don't know.
I will, like, you know, Don Cheadle's only in the movie just for a little bit, which I think, like, if there's like any criticism, like, it's just a tired trope at this point. It's like, you know, Don Cheadle as the magical Negro who like uses his, like, you know, to dispense wisdom to the white protagonist. You know, kind of humble them a little bit, which, you know, I guess as far as that trope concerned, it's definitely not the most offensive. It's kind of like, you know, it's just kind of a stereotype at this point.
Yeah, for most of it, it felt like that could have been played by just about anybody.
Yeah.
Really.
But it just so like how they did it fell into that trope, whether they meant to or not.
Yeah.
I mean, but overall, I actually enjoyed this movie. Again, don't mean to make it a three-peat, but 3.5.
Yeah, I saw this movie a long time ago, and the first time I saw it, it didn't sit well, just because, you know, it wasn't the ending. Obviously, a lot of people think that you would expect it to have, But, rewatching it over the years, I've grown to love it more and more. Especially there's so many allusions to other classic movies like It's a Wonderful Life. Especially there's a couple, like every time the snow would start falling on him, that was like a direct allusion to It's a Wonderful Life, which is my favorite movie of all time. So obviously that's going to score me brownie points, right? But Nicolas Cage, rich guy, and they clearly set him up to be not an asshole. He likes money, he likes his lifestyle, but he's nice to everybody around him, which I appreciated. And I've enjoyed this movie for a long time. I gave it 4 stars.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for sappy Christmas movies.
And I think, like we said, it's not in any way like kind of overwrought. It's just a really sweet movie.
Yeah,
it's definitely a very TNT era because even though this movie came out in 2000, it's still very like 90s. So like a lot of, again, I always have like this weird, like, this feels like a warm blanket, even though I've never seen this movie before, but it's just of a certain time. It's like, this feels very familiar. That's
shockingly heartfelt for a Brett Ratner film.
Who would have clocked that Brett Ratner made this movie?
For real.
Yeah. Like I had no idea. I mean, granted, I wasn't paying attention to who directed shit in 2000, but now more so. Yeah,
I didn't know who he was until like what 06. When did The Last Stand come out?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
2006.
Yeah, that's when I heard about him, and I was like, I never want to hear about this guy ever again.
I mean, this was one of his first things.
Yeah, but this movie was actually really good.
Yeah,
because he did Money Talks in '97, Rush Hour '98, and then this, and then Rush Hour 2.
Wait, he did Money Talks?
That was his first movie.
Oh, wow.
He did all the Rush Hours.
Oh, he even did 3?
Yep,
Cool.
that's what it says.
The last one he directed was the Hercules film with Dwayne Johnson in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't hate. It was
I imagine it was probably like a C
Weren't there
tier
2
action
Hercules
movie.
movies that year, or 2 Hercules movies back
Yep.
to back?
Yeah, there were.
There's
Same
one
summer.
with The Rock and one with Kit Harington.
No, that Kit Harington was in Pompeii.
Oh,
The other Hercules movie.
It was like a Sam Worthington type of guy.
Wasn't it the giant one from the Twilight movies? Like from the Cullen cult or the family or whatever?
I don't know.
I just remember, like, man, shows you how well these, like
the really buff one out of that bunch. I don't know if that helps at all.
that doesn't help.
Honestly,
As someone who's seen some of the Twilight,
Helen Lutz was
Can I see
the
his
other
face?
Hercules.
Do you have his face by chance?
Yeah, I can try. I know he's a dude from Twilight. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's the same dude. That's just like strange to me. Like, it's like we're gonna pick
That's his face.
that guy. Yep, it's that dude.
Yeah, that's that
We're
guy.
gonna pick that guy to head up your Hercules movie. The guy.
Well, I mean,
who's
he's
like-
big, he's strong. That's all you need, according to Hollywood.
He looks good in red contact lenses, apparently.
Yep.
yeah, and laser eyes.
I don't know if that translates to Hercules in any way, but who knows?
Well, according to the box office, it did not.
Yeah.
The movie was a disaster.
I feel like that Rock one probably made a little bit more money just because of the Rock.
The Rock one broke even roughly. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a disaster like the other one was. So
I mean, you can only do so many Hercules movies in a couple of years of each other.
yeah, they were the same damn summer, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Or like, I think the really shitty one came out like February or March, and then the Rock one came out like early summer.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
that's enough time for people to forget about a movie.
Well, I mean, they do call February the dumping ground of Hollywood.
Well, January to February, yeah.
Yeah. So, The Family Man.
I feel
Family
like we
Man.
should have a new counter. I know you don't know the name of this song, but that one.
Yeah, La Donna Mobile. Yeah.
As far as I can tell, we've heard that song at least twice on this podcast,
It's in 4 Nick Cage movies that I know of.
and it's also in the punch.
And plus, like, it's just a very like well-known like go-to.
Yeah. I know it's in a lot of things,
Well, it's
but
a fantastic aria.
second time I've heard it for at least this show.
It's sort of a Cage staple in that era. Like they put it in several things. It's a damn good song.
It's like you see rich Jack Cage living in his high-rise penthouse, goes into his fucking like walk-in closet house. And then he picks out his clothes and he just sort of jaunts down to work and makes friendly, sexy banter with the old lady on the elevator.
Yeah.
best buds with the doorman.
See, like he's super cool with everybody.
Yeah.
He's not a bad dude.
He's just a man about town.
Yeah, and that is a refreshing change of pace. It's like he's a rich dude and he's not a fucking prick about it.
Yeah, he's just got bad
A
priorities.
nice rich person. Now I know it's a fantasy.
Well, if that didn't tip you off in the fact that a tire salesman has a 4-bedroom house in Jersey that he's almost paid for later on, that should have tipped you off that this is a whole fucking fantasy.
Man, like, you know, I'm really glad that they sort of decided to rein it in a little bit with these movie houses, because a 4-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms is like, you know what? That's not as offensive as a fucking sorority house lived in by 3 people. Nightmare on Elm Street. but to a 30-year-old in 2021, that's still pretty fantastical.
Yeah. So, basically.
But also, the late 90s, early 2000s were a much different time.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So, basic overview of the movie. Just real quick, because we like to bounce around. Nicolas Cage is a nice rich dude who has bad priorities. He left his college girlfriend, Taylor Leone, at the airport to go off to an internship in London. They drifted apart, never saw each other again. And then one Christmas Eve, he goes home after a long day at the office of mergers and acquisitions in a fancy, prestigious firm. And Don Cheadle's...
Sorry.
We silence our phones here on Cage and Gray.
We also added our shows on AYCH.
Well, that's going to stay the hell in.
It's a funny bit.
It's all right. Just say it's your meditation notification and it's okay.
Yep.
Look, it's important to me to get regular meditation schedules when I can.
Serenity now.
Serenity now.
Serenity now!
I mean, you were wearing that shirt when we talked about Spider-Man yesterday.
It's true. I was.
It's a good shirt.
It's
That made me happy.
it's a good mantra to live by.
So he's going to a convenience store to get some eggnog because, you know, Christmas is upon him and he's kind of, no, I don't have much else to do, I guess. And so he goes in, and then Don Cheadle walks in with a lottery ticket, and the clerk is very racist, is what the implication is. He's like, oh, your ticket's no good. Get out of here. So Don Cheadle, who's, again, an angel or something,
An angel homeless man.
A supernatural being.
pulls a gun and says, my ticket's good. Where's my money? And then Nicolas Cage's like, hey, man, let me just buy the ticket from you. I'll give you $200, and then I'll make a quick $38. Nobody has to get hurt. Like, he does a good deed, trying to keep everybody safe. And so Don Cheadle's like, yeah, all right. And then he looks at the clerk and is like, you had your chance, and then walks out. And so they're talking, and Don Cheadle goes, yeah, you got everything, huh? And Nicolas goes, yeah, I got everything. He's like, well, you're going to regret that, Jack. And so Nicolas Cage then goes to bed and wakes up in a brand new life where he and Taylor Leone got married and had 2 kids, and he sells tires. And then shenanigans ensue. According to the script, he was in that version of reality for roughly 8 weeks.
Okay.
I was going to say, because it was roughly ended around, what, Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day, yes.
Because he arrives in the alternate universe on Christmas Day.
Christmas morning. And so he learns the lesson of maybe family's not a terrible thing. Maybe I should be happy. You know, money's not everything. And then he gets sent back to his reality where he chases down Taylor Leone and says, please don't get on the plane to go to Paris because we had children and I think we could have a life together. I love you. And then they end the movie with the 2 of them drinking coffee and catching up. And it looks like things are going to get pretty good for the couple. You know, I think they're going to turn out well.
Maybe it'll work out this time.
Until the sequel, Family Man 2. Just when you thought Nick Cage's life could not get any worse.
What are you talking? You're talking about the sequel's Family Guy, the show. They hate each other.
Now, you see, this airport is actually, you see, at the ending when the credits roll, it's actually the beginning of Die Hard 2.
Now, see, I was going to say it's the same airport as the Langoliers.
Oh, no.
The testicle monster!
What if it's the same airport as Final Destination and that plane just crashes through the cafe?
No,
But it just kills her, and he's just like, no!
Or this is the prequel to Left Behind.
Oh,
He becomes
God.
a pilot.
You know what, babe? I'm ditching the big city money life. I'm gonna put birds in the sky.
All right.
It's just like, release the Tay Leone cut of Left Behind.
So yeah, none of that happens. Like they have a happy ending. It's very sweet.
They do. Well, actually, I kind of see like the Tay Leone like perspective of this movie because, like, man, she's just like ragged in this movie. Just because homeboy disappears for 8 goddamn hours, and she's like, "What the fuck did you just do on Christmas Day, you psychopath?"
And he's just acting like a psycho to these people because they think he's, the family man that they know. Haha, funny. I mentioned the title.
It's like, what happened?
But granted, if I was Nicolas Cage in this situation, I would be acting the same goddamn
This
way.
motherfucker went to bed alone, wakes up not with a person in his bed, and then 2 kids rolling up calling him dad. Okay,
I would freak out too.
I know.
I would have punted those kids.
Like what is this?
Like my reaction would have been a lot
There's
more.
a woman sleeping on my tummy. What the fuck happened?
Honestly, he was pretty restrained for what happened.
I know, right? Like I would have been losing my fucking gourd.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Whoa. What happened? Like, where are my shoes?
Where's my Ferrari?
Yeah.
He did ask that.
just like screaming and puking. It's like, ugh.
And he asked that question to yet another instance of Doug Dimmadome, owner of Dimsdale Dimmadome, in these movies that we watch.
Does it really count? He wasn't all decked out in white.
It's
But he has a white cowboy.
White hat, white mustache. That's close enough.
He was Doug Dimmadome.
These are just variants, Ken.
I mean, look, this movie has a multiverse going. The fucking daughter can see through the multiverse. She's like, she clocked, you're not my dad, and she's just like this bitch has like Doctor Strange portal eyes.
Yeah, that's a hella smart, 5-year-old, I think.
So yeah,
I was a young child.
So you're not my dad. You're an alien. He's like, yes, I am.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
I mean, he kind of does act like
Help
an alien.
me survive this, please. I could have used more Nicolas Cage getting advice from the child. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would
Yes.
have been
But, I mean, if this were a comedy, that's what they would have done. But it's more of a romantic drama, so I get it.
yeah. It's just like she'd be just like whispering, like, "Hey, when's my anniversary? It's February 16th."
But in an alternate universe, this is a comedy movie, and that's the whole plot.
It's instead of a movie where it's just a fucking existential horror. Like he's just like, "What the fuck is happening?" He can't trust his memories. I mean, honestly, it could have turned into a horror movie because his fucking in-laws are named Ed and Lorraine, like the fucking Warrens, like the ghost hunters from the Conjuring movies.
Yep.
This could have turned into a spooktacular.
Wow, I did not make that connection.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to turn it into a horror movie. Like you wake up and you don't know what's real, and then Tia Leone does not forgive him for bailing on Christmas Day for 8 hours. Like, honey, you're going to the doctor, and he ends up in a psychiatric ward. And then Amber Heard runs up, and it turns out we're in a John Carpenter movie.
Oh no! Don't mention that movie.
The worst John Carpenter movie.
And then,
I don't know.
then you realize
But Ghost of Mars exists.
I'd still rather watch Ghosts of Mars, and I hate Ghosts of Mars.
then you realize all the people in his house were actually just personalities in his head, and and the house is actually his head.
And then it turns out he was dead the whole time, and he's been a ghost. And then Haley Joel Osment walks in. We've just sort of gone off the rails now, haven't
And
we?
then,
And then he walks into a room, and then it's actually present day and not like Puritan times.
Well, he just starts going through all of his roles, but as that character.
then when Don Cheadle like sits him down and offers him, one of those like sugar cookies with the blue icing or sugar cookie with the red icing. It's like, which cookie you want to eat? Which Christmas you want to wake up as?
Real? What do you mean by real? We might have watched The Matrix last night.
but then also Don Cheadle just says "fuck the cookies" and then like rips off his face and he just turns out this eldritch angel with like eyeballs and wheels and fire. And then
and then Keanu Reeves is in there for some reason. He's just like, whoa.
Dear listeners, I don't know if you can tell, but we're all very tired.
Very tired.
Very tired.
I'm going to pull it back to the movie because I do actually want to talk about this bit.
Okay.
The when we meet Don Cheadle.
Yes.
I actually thought, like, at least to get a general idea of what his character is about, the more I think about it, the more I really like that scene because, like, I feel like he may have been giving that clerk a chance, and he just fucked it all up for being a dick.
He was. That was in this. That's why I said you had your chance.
It's like, you had your chance.
And that's why at the end of it, when that one girl gets more change than she deserved,
Yeah.
he's like, all that for $9. No integrity these days.
Like it's a little shit I didn't pick up on the first time I saw this movie, and really appreciates it.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting concept, and I think the execution of the whole movie was really well done. And Nicolas Cage gave a very restrained and believable performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even like he does delve into some of the Cageisms, but it's not in like a vampire's kiss way where it's like over the top. It's like I said, like me and Cannon are saying, we would be doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's very believable. Like anybody would go, like, what the fuck is going on right now? Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're just like wondering, like, why you're in a new house? Who are these people? Why is my neighbor's wife flirting hardcore with me at the Christmas party and like force feeding me rum balls?
I mean, there's a reason the trailer had that Talking Head song. Days. What's the name of it?
Once in a Lifetime.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Blank. Thank you. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. And the days go by.
That album is fucking sick as shit.
The trailer for this movie is the first time I ever heard that song.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I learned to enjoy the Talking Heads.
It's probably the same. Yep, same for me.
So yeah, it was a perfect fit. Like, I remember that trailer to this day. It's a damn good trailer for what this movie is.
Yeah.
What if God was one of us?
Just a slut like one of us.
I don't think that's the lyric.
You know, creative license, Jim.
Well, they changed it to slob, so that was the radio edit.
You know, like CeeLo Green, like forget you is actually fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh man, what? All right, Jeremy Piven's also in this movie.
He is.
He's like Nick Cage. Well, yeah, Jack Campbell's best friend. It's like, well, when he's jumped into this universe, best friend goes, "Oh fuck," do it, and then he like sees a picture. He's like, "Wait, we're friends." It's like, yeah, come on, talk to me, man.
Honestly, I really like that character. He was like Joe Rogan if Joe Rogan wasn't a cunt.
Yeah. No,
if he wasn't just an unforgivable asshole.
Yeah. Like, he was definitely a dude bro, but like a caring, friendly dude bro.
Yeah. And like one thing I really appreciated about their friendship was like how like his friend was just like, yo, talk to me about shit that's going on. Like, you know, especially in movies around this time, you don't really see that with male characters.
It's a nice adult friendship between these, even though he's like, I haven't been here for this friendship, but I'm glad you're being very accommodating.
or like when Nick Cage is like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep with her, and he's just like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let check yourself.
You're actually going to cheat on your wife, you stupid bastard. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? You're better than that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring up the fucking I guess neighbor that is just sticky wet for fucking Nick Cage. This entire movie.
I mean, just stinky wet.
Even all right, there's a scene where he just picks up an old VHS tape of a party, right? And he's singing to his wife. And the whole time, that neighbor is in the backdrop just staring fucking dick daggers into him.
I'm so glad somebody else noticed that.
Just like, oh, God. And like the dude, the dude she's with in it is like some older guy, so it's just like a trophy wife situation or whatever the fuck. But like, there's a scene when they meet up in this bowling alley and there's like, hey, is there something here? And then she just like, well.
and then when she turns away, she's just like eternally walking into puddles.
And she's just like, yeah, my husband's going to be out of town and the kids will be away, so that the back door's open, babe.
And then she's never seen again.
that is very much a double entendre, Pat.
I'll be your back door man. Something else fun is the friend that he met at that party, the one who said he's going in for a triple bypass. That guy was also known for playing the role of Pat in Heavyweights, starring Kenan Thompson, one of my favorite films as a child.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. It's a real good movie. It's on Disney Plus. Right next to Cool Runnings, one of my other favorite movies as a child.
He's personally elevating those movies up in the top 10 ranking on Disney Plus.
You know what? If that's what it takes to get other people to enjoy them, by God, I'm going to do it.
Also, I just had a realization. I think Jeremy Piven in this movie, especially being such a big bowling fan and having like the little bowling league with Nick Cage, he's like the larval form of QT Marshall.
Do not put that on Jeremy Piven's character.
I mean, I can see it.
Like his character, not Jeremy.
Well, yeah.
$10,000. Call back to that cameo game.
Yeah.
Charges $10,000 for a business cameo, if I remember correctly.
What a crazy person.
Was it like $3,000 or $6,000 for? It's three between.
It was something
multiple
stupid.
grand.
Something redonkulous.
Like still in that scene, like Nick Cage sits down across from Jeremy Piven. It's like so and so. It's like I think she wants to have an affair with me. He's just like just like chuckling. It's like wow, I can't believe it. And then just like slings him a fucking napkin. It's like so if you could just give me that address. He's like, wait, what? Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah, I thought that was it was a good take.
That
on
was
that.
really good.
Because it's like, she's into you, man. That's crazy. Isn't that nice how people are? It's a good ego boost. Wait, you're actually gonna fuck her?
like, wait,
what's
what?
wrong with you? You fucking monster.
And he did get the one F-bomb in this PG-13 movie.
He did.
Yeah. And like even like comedies after this. I mean, and I know this is technically not a comedy. You would see like if this scene were to play out and say like 40-year-old virgin or something like that, it'd be like, oh dude, yeah, 5'5", yeah, go fuck that bitch up. They just turned to Tim Allen in Home Improvement. Just
sounded more like Muscle Man from Adventure Show, or no, is it? No.
Or the character on your shirt there,
What's
John.
the name of that show? With no, the other one, Regular Show. That's the one.
It's like you're missing. I can't believe you're about to step out on Cancun like this. That's totally fucked up, man.
Episodes. It was fun.
come on, man. Stop cheating on your girl, man.
Another case of two separate conversations in one fucking
Yeah,
show.
we're gonna have.
You're welcome, listener.
We're gonna have Shim and Cannon in the right earbud, and John and I.
You are welcome, listener. This is maximizing your time.
Meanwhile, Frank's just like, they're fucking not talking about it now. I'm not even trying my Frank anymore.
Granted, like we've been talking about the movie for
I know.
most of the episode.
All the bits are tangential.
Yeah.
And it's, we say it a bunch of times. It's one of those movies where, like, we can tell you everything that happens, but we've given you the description. You could pretty much just fill it in yourself.
I mean, it's a very straightforward movie, and not to its detriment.
No.
It's just like sometimes it can be a little difficult to like have this like protracted, in-depth analysis of a movie that's pretty surface level, and that's not disparaging the film at all.
It's
not
like,
at all.
It's like I said that one time. Sometimes you just want a comfort movie.
Yeah,
One where you know there are no stakes. Like everything's going to be fine. You're just going to have a nice, relaxing 2 hours of, that's funny. He learned a lesson. I feel good.
Yeah.
I do feel like, man, Taylor Leone, she went through some shit in this movie.
She
had a rough couple months.
She's just like, man, I thought I was with a cool dude, but he just had a severe mental breakdown, and then just Walter White walked into a supermarket and butt ass naked.
Yeah, I mean, she is the most forgiving wife.
For real.
Yeah.
She
Like,
gives me
day
so
one.
many chances.
Well, I guess day one.
Like, this dude walks away for his family like for 10 hours, and like the next day,
On Christmas Day.
she's like, you know what? I'm feeling randy. Let's fuck. Let me just mash my titties up real quick.
It must have been quite a while for her to just be like, you know what, I'm mad at him, but fuck
And
it,
then,
we're going at
like,
it.
she did a cut later where, like, she's like, anniversary, here's your present. And just like, I'm new to this universe, babe. I don't know it. And then, like, she's fucking pretty crestfallen. But it's okay. They go out to a really fancy restaurant that he used to go to in his rich dimension. And then they maybe dip down later. Who knows?
Yeah, like they start off with him just going missing with no word for 8 hours on Christmas Day. Then they parlay that into he's just sort of a dick bag for like a couple of weeks. He keeps complaining about his life at every opportunity. He gets pissy in the mall and
God, that was
demeans their
uncomfortable.
life over a $2,400 suit.
And a fucking J.C. Penney, some shit. Like,
Yeah.
yelling at her in the mall.
Forgets their anniversary for what that version of Cage's first time in 13 years. Like, he usually goes hard, right? And then that morning's like, fuck, I got nothing. Ha 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 ha.
I mean, that's basically what happens.
And then he
unironically.
Then he's like, "Oh, guess what, sweetie? I just I got a job at this acquisitions firm where I used to work in that life you don't know about. We're moving to the city in this giant apartment. Uproot the kids. Fuck them. Let's come on. We're going to the city. We're making money." And even then, she's just like, "I love you. I choose us. I'll do whatever you want."
I will. She's like, but I love how she's kind of like low key still guilting him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yes, I'll uproot our kids from the life they know. I'll give up this house that we built together, and I will take our family to live in New York City because I love you. I choose us.
That was pretty hardcore.
I mean,
Man, that's fucking advanced. That's like master tier manipulation right there.
and he's like, you know what? I'm feeling a little guilted right now.
But, I mean, it was nice to see the growth of Cage's character through that. Because at the beginning, it's like, no, I want my Ferrari back. I want to go back to that life. Where's my Ferrari? Where's my money? And then by the end, he's like, the daughter who thought he was an alien actually, "Oh, I knew you'd be back, Dad." And then it's, all right, time to go.
Okay, so see ya.
And then he's which there was a little bit of cruelty in that on Don Cheadle's part, because he's like, he finally learns to like have this family, and he's finally comfortable and happy, and then back to square one.
I mean, to be fair, Don Cheadle did say from moment one it was a glimpse into another life.
That is true.
And we're getting into the metaphysical aspect because either this reality was created from nothing and is not real and does not exist, or more horrifyingly,
and I like to think that this is some like fucking Dougie Jones shit from Twin Peaks.
Like, Nicolas Cage rich version has overwritten the mind and life of family man Nick Cage for 8 full fucking weeks. So like, what if he goes back to being rich and like the time doesn't change with him, because when he wakes up it's Christmas Day again, like time hasn't passed, like, oh, no time at all, the spirits did all in one night, that sort of bullshit. But like, what if the regular family man Nicolas Cage just wakes up like, what do you mean it's Valentine's Day?
Like he just had like
Eve yesterday.
Like he just blanked out for like 2 months.
Where did this suit come from?
God, it's like that old ass Saturday Night Live skit. It's like, I missed the Super Bowl again, didn't I? Don't worry, honey, I got it all on tape for you.
I mean, like, he literally does like the 51st Dates bit where he just starts watching all their videotapes. He's like, oh, here we go. And then Leone's just like, she's got to relive their life every day,
man,
and to get her husband back on track. Which, when you think about that movie, it's like, it's kind of like, this is a little weird, kind of fucked up in a weird way.
Oh, the 51st Date one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie's fucked. That one's terrible. That Drew Barrymore has no concept of, like, that's not cool. Like, the whole thing is just gross.
Yeah.
It's like, she's like, this woman feels like I'm thinking about that end of that movie a lot, where she just wakes up on a boat and then suddenly she has like a fucking kid and a husband she's never seen before, but she just watched the little fucking Blu-ray and it's like, huh, here you are, wife, enjoy this scary new world that you live in now.
Yeah, like there's no universe where that's okay except that particular movie universe. It's just, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but brother and dad were A-okay with it.
Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, speaking of Adam Sandler, I saw on Arcade's feed that there's a new Adam Sandler movie coming out. Apparently, it delved into like Russian cosmonaut history, and he plays like a cosmonaut, goes into space, and he meets a giant talking spider who joins him on his space trip. Is
that real, or are you gaslighting me? Like,
no, that's real.
Is it produced by the guy who loves giant spiders?
John Peters.
I mean, hey.
I mean, if it walks like a spider and talks like a spider, it's probably a spider.
I will say, you know what? The more I think about it, I may have to give this movie a 4. I may have to bump mine up a little bit to a 4.
Yeah.
Oh man! Again, I was it's a very long time ago since I'd seen this movie because I'd forgotten everything. But that scene where he's like sitting in that chair, just like fighting sleep so it doesn't end for him.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was some good shit.
That was really
That's
powerful.
getting that other half up. Yep, 4.
Yeah.
I'm bumping it up to a 4. Woo!
Fair.
On the show yet again.
Okay.
Also, that Sandler thing is real. That's true. That's 100% true. What the fuck? It's a drama film. What?
Okay.
Yeah, all right, sure.
I mean, as long as it's not like Happy Madison Productions, it's probably going to be okay at least.
That is, huh?
You know what? Stay tuned for the
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for more.
for the Cage of Greatness review of Adam Sandler talks to a spider in space.
But before we leave, do we want to talk about like any sort of like nitpicks or like qualms we had with the movie, or did we?
I mean, me personally, this is one of those movies where like any nitpick just feels disingenuous. You know, like it's, yeah, you could do 1,000 different things, and this movie's done 100 things 100 movies have done 100 times before. But like for me personally, this is one of those movies you just take it for what it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
But like, there's no real, like, there's just no reason for me personally like to nitpick anything, because if you start changing stuff, it becomes an entirely different movie.
No.
For this one, if that makes any sense.
I get what you're saying. I like, and this is just a me thing and me getting older, but it did feel a little long, like towards the end. Like I was like, okay, come on, let's like wrap it up a little bit. And the ending is, even then, still abrupt in a lot of ways. It's like, don't get off the plane because blah, 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 blah. Okay, I won't. Credits.
She was like very, like, sure, okay.
That's one of those things where, if, again, like, it's not nitpicky, it's just, I wonder if they had shortened from when he wakes up to when he gets to the airport. If they had just shortened that, it would have changed anything, because they give you a lot of information after he wakes up versus what you'd expect from a movie like this. So, like, let's say he wakes up, he calls his assistant and says, I'm not going to the meeting I scheduled on Christmas. I need Kate's number. And he gets to her apartment. Oh, she's going to the airport. And he goes straight to the airport. Like, please don't go. That's what you're used to in a movie like that. I feel like if they had shortened it, that might have changed like your interpretation of it, like how your impression of it.
Yeah, but also too, I think it is important to show that her life would have at least financially improved as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can definitely like shorten that down. I think it did run a little long, but I think you do need that.
Well, I mean, that's where you just have the assistants. Oh, you just missed, like, have the same people moving all her expensive shit. You just missed her. She accepted a new position in Paris. She's at the airport.
Yeah.
Like, you just shorten that down. You don't have to have that one interaction where they are in her apartment, and then he goes back like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and find the lady.
Yeah.
But I get, but again, like, I don't know if that would work better or if it wouldn't work better.
Yeah, and we're not professionals, in the movie industry. Any suggestion we have, is probably the wrong one.
I feel like he kind of needed that, because even so, it wasn't like Cage showed up at the airport and she was just like, okay, if you want to get technical, it was 3 times. First time when he showed up at the place, boxing up, and she's like, oh no, but I gotta move. But you know what? If you're in Paris, let's have that coffee. Blah blah blah. They go to the airport and it was like, hey, we gotta go. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I gotta get on the plane. I'm sorry. About to get on it, and he's fucking going one more time.
He swings for the fences.
Tells her about the life that he has seen, well, at least a couple of months of a life that he has seen, that they could potentially,
if you will,
a glimpse, maybe. If you will.
I did like the look on her face. We have 2 kids. Like, the fuck, like, you said?
What? It's like, what?
I feel like I would have known this.
I would love it if there's just like an old lady who's like behind her is like, ma'am, are you okay? Do you need help?
It's like the director, like it's like there's like a deleted scene where it just like tells them the whole story. It's like, we got the kids, we're happy, blah blah blah. I know how to change a diaper now. It's great. What do you say? He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Turns away, gets on the plane.
I would love it if
and then Nick Cage just falls in defeat and holds his head in his face, and it's credits to Ave Maria or some bullshit. But it's not like the Pavarotti version. It's like a synthesizer version, like they did with Clockwork Orange, with all the classical pieces.
Or like you get Fiona Apple to do like a really slow acoustic guitar version because it's 2000.
Oh God,
why not?
It's 2000. Because my bit is like while they're talking, like you see her like sitting very stiff and like kind of like nodding along, and you kind of see her like motion like under the table. You see like cop cars like blinking in the fucking like windows behind her, and then right before it fades out into the proper credits, he just gets tackled by like SWAT members,
or like she tases him, and then the SWATs just pile on.
Fucking TVA doorway opens up. What are you doing here?
They walk Don Cheadle in handcuffs, like rogue TVA agent found.
It's like, damn it,
getting proved.
It's like rogue temporal anomaly. Don Cheadle, he's just like in chains. He's like screaming.
Oh my God!
It's like my plan almost worked, and it's like he's like so this weird Machiavellian plot that getting these two together sets off a chain of events that fucks up the timeline.
These two cannot fuck. I repeat, these two cannot fuck.
You know that little kid that pisses in the first part of the movie, his son, he's the fucking Antichrist.
Oh my God, it's Looper.
And then it turns out that Don Cheadle is just an alternate version of Jim Rhodes, War Machine. And that's how we're in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but because they got to give him a snap name instead of Jim Rhodes, it's Jim Rogue.
And then Terrence Howard shows up.
And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
God.
He's like, why am I here?
I thought Marvel fired me. They did.
And then Edward Norton shows up too.
Fucking Nick Cage runs up to her. It's just like, we have kids, we have babies. She just pulls out a gun and fucking shoots him. And this is pre-9/11.
Man, it was the Wild West back then. You can get away with everything before 9/11. Let me tell you something.
After she shoots him, his head catches on fire. He turns into Ghost Rider.
I would love it.
Guilty. I'm just fucking imagining, like, he starts this whole thing. We have kids, and she's like, she reaches her hand back, and she just starts screaming, "I'm standing my ground!" It just blows him away.
Not in my timeline. Pew pew.
Because turns out this was set in like fucking Alabama. I stood my ground, officer. And he was like, I mean, she said she stood her ground, I guess.
It's like, do you...
any witness? Okay, I guess she stood her ground.
Ma'am, do you live in the airport? Is this a goddamn Tom Hanks movie?
Because I was thinking it's like she shoots him, blows away the goddamn Desert Eagle from fucking Suicide Squad. But then she rips off her mask and it's Don Cheadle. It's like, gotcha, bitch.
She rips off the mask. Boom, you looking for this?
And then the Looney Tunes music plays.
And that's all, folks.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you can tell, dear listener, but we are, again, quite tired.
I don't know. That
was some good shit, though. I'm not gonna lie. In our delirium, we just gave you gold.
Yep.
Our sleepiness is excrement.
And
we have
honestly,
turned it into gold. Called it back to Shim's favorite movie, The Holy Mountain.
I tell you what, when we do the KG Awards next week that we definitely didn't already record last week, I'm going to shit on that movie some more.
Gold everywhere.
Gold. There's gold in that hole.
Golden hole, Leo.
Holy holies.
I think that is an excellent time to wind it down for this episode.
How long have we been going?
53 minutes.
Wow.
Hey.
Longer than I actually thought we would go.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So, I don't know how the hell we're going to top that.
I mean, you know, good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. Please enjoy next week's episode, the final episode of the year, the KG Awards. The week following that, we'll be doing something. We'll
work it out.
Yeah, we'll get around to it.
Yeah, don't worry your pretty little head about it. We got this thing covered.
And if you're waiting for an announcement on the KG Awards, what we're doing, not going to happen. It'll be a surprise to all of us.
It's going to be our WWE Day 1, but Cajun Greatness.
Because, a little behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure this is the final recording of any show for 2021, isn't it?
It's the final show that I think
probably, yeah.
I'm definitely talking into
Yeah,
this year.
As far as I know, this is the final recording of 2021 for any AYCH property. Of course, it won't be like that when it releases, but in terms of actual recording, this is the last piece of audio recorded for the year.
Right. And if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas
holidays. Eve. Whatever it is you celebrate, we hope you have a great time with it. And keep listening to the show because, I don't know, we're egotistical enough to think people want to hear what we have to say.
Also, make room. We're coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Save us a plate, goddammit.
Still going to doo-doo on that coffee table.
Yeah, we'll
Don't
see you
worry.
tomorrow night. Save us a spot.
You better tell Aunt Jackie not to put fucking peas in her macaroni and cheese this year. She's fucking crazy.
Mother of God.
Look, if I don't get some stuffing this year for one goddamn holiday, I'm going to be upset.
Look,
I know there's not, for ours, I know there's not any.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. But all these people I know that come to the shop that beg for discounts on shit, you can at least bring me a goddamn plate of turkey. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
Stuffing, you said it wrong. It's dressing.
It's stuffing.
It's dressing.
Okay.
But you got to stuff it in something for it to be stuffing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
I mean, I think the general idea is that once you put it's dressing when it's not inside of an animal's carcass. It's stuffing when it is.
Okay, you know that shit that I'm talking about? Somebody better bring me some.
Okay.
Better.
Delish.
But for real, though, we hope everyone has an excellent holiday. And Jonathan, aside from our listeners' houses on Christmas Eve night, where can the people find you? Because we're doing a tour.
They'll be under your bed.
We'll come to your house specifically. You can follow me on Twitter. Jerry and I be on Twitter. And Jonathan's on 12 bucks to Menchie.
Yeah, go follow Cooler Bar. They're a fucking hate.
Cool Bar, when did you get here? I was here the whole time. I'm part of you.
I almost thought you were going with a Schwarzenegger when you started. Is this the impression game again? I'm confused.
Dipped in.
Like a turd in the wind.
I win again. No. I raised my hand so fast.
Oh, I'm excited to do that again. That was a fun
Hell yeah, that was
time.
really fun.
All right.
Woo-wee.
Pat.
Yes, hello, and goodbye because we're ending this. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and most of the year. You still got one more to go, so you're not getting off that easy. But follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name. And we're listening to the week it comes out on Monday. We release episode 243, which is our all spoiler review of Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it.
Was that it?
Oh, I'm done. Ready to go? Come on, get out of here.
Well, that's way
Top two.
But you didn't even say where they can find you and your art and shit.
They're gonna find me outside and kick your ass.
That's going to happen before we come in and eat your food for Christmas, listeners. Canon.
Fuck this. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a fantastic time. I have been That Cannon Guy. You can follow me at That Cannon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd.
And I'm your host, Shimmy, a.k.a. Justin, a.k.a. Come Buy Comics and make me some goddamn stuffing. And yeah, you can find me at Captain Shimmy's Kind of Art, Captain Shimmy's Almost Music. There's some stuff there. Yeah. Have a happy holiday. And go to our merch store at tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. I know it's the day before Christmas Eve. If you're listening to this day, it comes out like you should be. It might get here in time. I don't know. Post service done miracles before. Buy something.
Yeah. Just reach out to Postman Frank and get him to work his postman magic.
That's
Yes. President!
Thank you all for listening to our ridiculous bullshit. Happy holidays. We love you very much.
Jake Chrysler.
Venom again. I win. Three-time champion.
You know who else likes the holidays, you're Missy? My mom.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd.